Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit because he was fucking useless.
So, episode 20. We're into the 20s.
We're in the 20s.
Into
Two
the
tens.
20s.
Is that a prime number, Tony? 20?
20 is not a prime number.
You sure?
It's a product of 5 though, which is a prime number, so,
Oh, well.
you know, small victory.
Any holes a goal for you, Tony, where prime numbers are concerned.
Sam really doesn't like the mash chat.
Let's
He
keep going now.
Fucking pisses me off. Fucking no one gives a shit about fucking numbers.
So, JT's here.
I'm here.
Housewives Favourite Sam.
Sam's here.
And Mr. Samuel. John Samuel's here as well, John.
Yeah,
Evening.
good evening.
So, we've got one game to talk about.
Shit game, that.
Couple of emails.
Shit, but good game.
Sam's got
Tickets,
forest green tick
stuff.
information.
When we're first good. You don't know.
Which we're going to now. We've decided
We
we're
are.
going up with
We're
Sam.
driving-
We're
yeah,
going. We're
We're
driving.
driving down
Too
to
far
the
from me, that, for a screen.
sunny Cotswold. Well, if it stays like it is, it'd be
That'd be
lovely.
nice this
Yeah.
weekend.
Cows in the road.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
through them this time.
Yeah, I was there when we played under Mr. Nielsen.
Yeah, last year.
We
And
won 1-0 in
and Paul-
extra time with.
Were you there, Tony Hawkins?
I was.
We
Did you
were.
buy any
kick that?
food, John?
Golly,
No.
Ariobi, was it?
Ariubi, Bolly Ariubi,
scored.
yeah. Even Paul Downing played and we still
I
won.
thought you were going to see Paul Daniels.
Me and Sam spent much of the second half in the queue for a pie and
We
chips.
started queuing up 10 minutes before the first half and we got our corn pie 10 minutes in the second half.
Couldn't eat that.
Which
So-
was debatable as to whether it was corn or just polystyrene.
Not eating that.
Well, there are two people working in the kiosk right. I mean, people will see it on Saturday. There's a standing kiosk and there's one little pod right at the end. Two people in there, and the queue went back half the stand. Didn't
Yeah.
it?
Can I
Easily.
ask, can you get meat-based products?
You
in
can't
there?
get
No.
absolutely
It's
nothing
It's
there.
100%
You
vegan.
can't even get proper milk for your tea. I have soya milk
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
almond milk.
Yeah,
which
it is.
is absolute
It's the
garbage.
first. It is the first pure green football club in Europe. Forest Green.
I will
Their
point out,
fertiliser is friendly.
They-
Their cider doesn't have anything in it.
beer was outstanding.
Cider-
It is
beer and
outstanding.
cider
They
is
even
very nice.
recycle the water and the rain that comes down.
Those
They've got a
hippies love
special-
a strong beer, too.
It is.
And apparently the players love it, according to the various interviews they've done
I
over
bet
the years.
they do.
They
Well-
say, we love it.
I
quote.
bet they don't.
That's it, really. Yeah.
Good luck to them. Anyway, what happened Saturday, Tony?
No, not
I mean,
good
there's
luck.
a-
What happened Saturday? I've completely forgotten who we played.
Yeovil Town.
Yeovil.
Yeovil Town.
Speaking
Yeovil
about
Town.
carrot crunchers, Tony.
Yeovil.
Yeah. So that was a 2-0 victory.
It was, I was enjoying it.
I've also forgotten who scored the first goal because the second one was so
How
good.
was that?
Ryan Harley.
Ryan Harley.
How could we forget?
Yeah.
It was almost like
The
Good
much-
goal, actually.
it was a
much-
very good
The
finish.
much maligned Ryan Harley.
Yeah, especially
and,
by us.
There's a few people eating their words after.
Not
Oh,
us.
Not me.
I was still
After
doing
that one went in. I must admit though, he took it very calmly. He didn't
He did.
blast it. He placed it.
It was a
and-
very,
His celebration
very
was
good
a bit like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have I done? What have I done? Oh, yeah, it's a goal. I remember
I
those.
was never done that before, he said.
Yeah.
I haven't done that since QPR away.
Yeah.
No.
I was talking to Sam earlier on in the shop, and Sam was predicted.
What, Sam? Housewives Favourite Sam?
Me.
All
He
right.
predicted a resounding victory, 4 or
I
5-0, and
You
I
did say
said
5.
I'll take a 2-0 workmanlike
did, yeah.
professional
2-0,
performance.
Tony.
and
2-0, I said.
If you would have told
Yeah.
me that Mansfield were going to
So
lose, I'd have
every
taken
week,
1-0.
but,
But,
But
yeah.
they were poor.
Man.
But at least they
Right.
tried to play football.
No.
The times they
Carry
kicked,
on.
the times they kicked the ball out of play purely, and there was nobody pressurising them. It was unforced, and I think 4 times I counted.
Here's
them.
what I thought about them, right? I thought they were a pile of shit. They
Well,
were astonishingly bad, right? That their centre forward, that number 13, couldn't hit a bando with a shovel, that bloke.
Zocco.
But what done me was they were 1-0 down. It was obviously the second half because their goalkeeper was at our end. So they're 1-0 down, right? He's firing shots left, right, and centre, except anywhere except the goal. Suddenly, there's a banner unfurled in the wee end, like
Yeah.
going down. Then there's another one. Then there's all people holding up A4 things. But I thought, well, that's no good because no one can read that. So they're holding that up. They're all running to the front. All the stewards are there. You're thinking, oh, these blokes have had it. You know what their goalkeeper done?
Yeah.
Went out for a goal kick, placed the ball down, picked it up, and moved it to the other side. So I'm thinking, You're 1-0 down already. There's protests. Your fans are in uproar, and you've decided,
decided
to
you're gonna
waste
waste some more
time.
time, yeah.
I thought, mate, I'll be honest with you, right? And I was thinking about it today as I was driving back from work. I am wholeheartedly fed up of going to that stadium and seeing opposition teams trying to waste time. It's just boring and it's rubbish.
What does R.I.P. Yeovil mean?
It is. The fans and the manager massively lost touch. They didn't like the football they were playing. Well, admittedly, you could see why.
Yeah.
They didn't like the football was playing. They didn't like the way that the club was going. And I don't know why they brought that banner to us, assuming that, if they were, say, playing away to
I wonder
Notts
if they take that
County.
to every ground. Just hoping
If they were
this
playing
is
away
where
to
they
Notts
want.
County, Macclesfield, a team that they have to beat, probably didn't help that they lost 2-0 to Macclesfield the week before. But it's almost like they did it, like losing 2-0 at home away to us is a bad result. But I was like, I don't know why you would do that at a ground where you're not expected to win. But their manager got sacked the day after, so whatever
That
did
must
it,
be the
it worked.
And there is the MK curse. I'm convinced of it.
Tony,
The amount
it's-
of managers that have been sacked the day after playing
It's
us.
the ultimate indignity getting
It is.
beat by us.
It is. I just don't.
There
What
has
was
been
it?
a
Was
few.
it the Championship season?
The best one was Darren Ferguson when he
That was my
got
favourite
Well, yeah.
one, that
when
was.
he got sacked.
What's his name? Get sacked at Leeds, didn't he?
Yes, Gary
I think of his
McAllister.
name, McAllister.
I was
maybe.
actually. I think I was on the coach for some reason.
Gary McAllister. got
No, where
sacked.
was I? That was at home, wasn't it? When we beat him at home.
What,
Yes.
Leeds?
Yes.
Yeah, he got
3-1.
sacked here, yeah.
Oh no, that's right. And then Cole came in and he said, Darren
getting
Ferguson
sacked.
has been sacked whilst he's on the coach going back to Peterborough.
Mm.
To which I burst into laughter, and Carl looked at me like, "What are you laughing about? A man's just lost his job." And I thought, yeah, he's absolutely right. But it's fucking Darren Ferguson, to be fair.
And now he's
so-
back. And now he's back for the third
Back
time on a
to
4-year contract.
Yeah, and he's doing worse than the manager who got sacked for being in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was Steve
So-
Evans, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Steve Evans' boyhood club and all that
Yeah,
sort of
that kind of
stuff. But now that just means that someone else is going to have to put up with Steve Evans.
I did think, I could not figure out what they hope to achieve by wasting time like that. You're already
But
winning.
again, it's League Two, isn't it? We need to.
But they'd
Well,
be
we
happy,
do know.
Tony.
We do know, but
losing 1-0. I mean, you think you've...
they would. They would have. In fact, they probably went away thinking we've done all right there. To be
Well,
fair,
think to themselves, they might as well... They thought, if it had been me, I would have thought, we're 1-0 down. These are playing alright. They're not setting anything fire. Well, alright Saturday. Milton Keynes, but we weren't brilliant. And you're thinking, if we were just a little bit better, we could maybe get something out of this. But no, what we'll do is fuck about and waste more time.
Well, I tell you,
boring that.
I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I was getting quite anxious midway through the second half.
Yeah.
They had a little spell.
Yeah, they did have a
It
spell.
looked
Yeah.
as though oh God, we're gonna throw this
They
away.
should have equalised. They should have equalised.
And when you consider the first half, they had 2 headers on target. Nichols was
yeah.
out.
Oh, Zoko's miss was absolutely
that-
horrendous.
Oh, he's open goal miss.
we
That's
were
good work.
both.
Oh,
weren't
what
we?
was that? Well, the penalty spot is
Second.
12,
No,
12
it
yards
was even.
away, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 6-yard box.
So-
It was. Well, so probably give it a yard or two,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and he didn't slice it on it. He actually
Hit it.
kicked it,
And it went...
and
I
I
reckon
think
it was another 12 yards away from the goal.
Could you imagine in the split second before he's hit that ball, what Lee Nichols is thinking?
And, oh, no.
He's thinking, oh,
Or he's thinking, oh, it's that bloke on
Yeah.
I'll just stay here.
I'll just finish his cup of tea.
Mind you,
He's
that
never
very
gonna
same
score.
guy, I remember him punishing us at Carlisle a
Yeah.
few years ago.
But yeah, again, he's one of those players you think he's clearly scored a lot of goals over in his time, but why is he still at
Has he?
Yeovil?
Why
Why
is
has
he
he been
just-
there for a long
it's
time?
And
just-
they're third
well,
bottom.
well,
for
he's keeping-
Yeovil he has, yeah.
He must be that good that he's keeping Ryan Seeger out the team. So
Oh, but I made a note about Ryan Seeger
Yeah.
in relation to the singing by the fans, which I'll
Oh.
come to later. When Seeger came on, he was that shit and completely forgettable.
Ungood, Tony.
That the Dons fans didn't even bother booing him.
no, I don't even think it's that. No, because you can't boo him for what happened. He came. He wasn't. No, I would say
So
he wasn't
football
good
fans
enough.
are idiots,
He
and
just-
they'll boo any ex-player.
I
won't
think
they?
fans,
Basically.
because you said to me you probably didn't. You don't think that they even knew who he was. They definitely
Well,
knew.
you had to
who he-
tell me he was coming on.
They
I didn't
definitely
even
knew who he was, but it's just a bit like a. Yeah, he was here for what, 4 months, 5
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
He made about 5 appearances. And
Yeah.
5 of them probably in the Czech trade.
he
Like,
never played
he
him
just
very
never really
often.
made an. It's nothing
Never.
against him. He just
Never
never really made an impact enough for us to have an opinion.
He's
on
another
to be
one of
honest.
those. I mean, we've seen dozens of them over the years. Player comes in from a bigger club, and you're thinking,
Where did he come from?
you know,
Southampton.
You're thinking,
Oh,
it's
nah.
He's still
here's our
contracted to
Benica Phobie, here's our Will Grigg, and invariably they absolutely fell.
I know, because whenever I try and find players through the bloody quiz, the majority of them like Milton Keynes Dons, 0 apps, 0 goals, so I just can't use them.
Yeah. On loan, did nothing.
On loan.
Let's talk about Chuck's goal.
Oh my!
So I've got this
God.
right. I've got this. So
Sublime.
you're watching Question of Sport, right? And the ball's been played to Chucks, and it freezes.
What happens next?
What happened next?
Yes.
Right. Oh, I don't know.
And the options
fall
are-
over, or the options
Does he run into the goal like Messi and score?
Yeah, does he
or
take
does
on-
he fall over or
Does
square
he take
it off
on
to someone
6
else?
players and score?
Does he
or,
knock out the left back?
Does he?
And does he knock Harley out the way as well?
Well, no, that's what I was saying to you
I
earlier.
thought he was going to take.
Well,
it
there
off
was a
him.
few players that were quite happy to latch
But
on
when
to
you
that,
said
but he
it-
was having none of it.
When
was
he said to me in the day, like he's picked on the halfway line, because everything happened, I forgot where he picked it up from, and it was literally right on. Because it was a good little nick. I think it was from Hesketh.
I thought he was going
Yeah.
out for a throw.
Who nipped
There
it
you
round
go.
and
It was.
took a lump at the same
It
time.
was just past the halfway line.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
And he
go.
just
on
took
the
it
edge
from
of
the wing.
Yeah, right on the edge.
He took on, well, the bloke he'd done anyway. One person in the blocks, and the next bloke in the box. Then he had to push Harley out the way.
Well, he took on as many of our
then-
players as he took on of theirs to get there, and then finished it. And there was a great photo of their keeper trying to save it. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Great.
Yeah.
Doing
And
the
he
splits.
has got-
Great photo.
He has got a bit of pace when he wants it.
He did seem rather
Yeah.
happy, which I was.
He was.
quite
Well,
He
he
was
tweeted
well
that
It won't happen again.
He
though.
likes scoring goals.
he tweeted saying something like
Look
it
at
was
me, he
his
said.
it was his best to date. That was his
I'm
favourite
great,
goal.
he said.
So
Did you see that?
Well,
Look
what
at
he
me.
did-
I've got one thing to say about that goal.
I hope you're seeing something
One thing to say
derogatory,
about
Tony.
was it a good eye?
That's why Carl bought him, because he's capable of doing that sort of thing. And let's be honest, without him this season and his goals,
And he,
it's highly unlikely we'd be in third, because he can
We
do
wouldn't be in
things
third,
that other
hands
players
down.
can't.
Same as if we didn't have them two, and we had the last few years where we haven't had someone scoring at least just even 10 goals.
But the thing is, we have,
we'd
and
be
we should have. as
clinging
well.
on to playoffs. If that, we'd be happy to get in the playoffs at the moment. Whereas now, but you know, they're still not good
But no,
enough.
he's a player who will get his ball, who will get the ball with his back to goal, and fairly sure something's going to happen. And when you've got defenders thinking, we need to keep an eye on this bloke, it's taken the focus away from other players on the pitch. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a few assists as well this season.
Yes.
He's pulled defenders away. He's so far
He's
and
the
away
quiet
above
man
the-
of
any-
Milton Keynes
near
Dons, Tony. That's
the
what I'm
sort of
calling him.
quality required for League Two.
The
He's
quiet man.
It's
Yeah.
not when he
He's-
concedes a foul.
No,
Bloody
he's
hell.
not. No, and he's.
Did you see that picture on
Yeah.
the club put up today? We shouting in that ref's
Toby,
face.
no, it's Toby Lockwood.
That's very funny. That.
Toby tweeted it, but
But no, that was probably in. Did you see the EFL run this goals of the week?
yeah, he was second, wasn't he?
Yeah, and there were
Second.
every
was better
single
than that.
every single one of them, other than his, was a 30-yard screamer.
Yeah.
And then there was just Chucks's where just back to goal,
was
50
good
yards
goal.
out, right on the touchline.
And he still.
7 seconds later.
It's a
it's in the
contender
back
of
net.
goal for the season.
I think he got
Yeah.
32%, and the one that won it got 40 something.
Yeah.
I remember the.
I remember the one that won it. It was it the
Smith?
Tranmere one?
Was it Smith's?
no,
It was a good goal. I mean, but
yeah.
they were all the same. They were all like 30-yard scream. And I do
somebody-
love a 30-yard scream, I'm not going to lie. But there is nothing. But I
Much as a
tweeted.
diag.
I tweeted to
Loves a
when
diag.
Chucks put it
Loves
up.
a
I
diag.
tweeted
Diags,
too
man.
easy playground stuff. That's literally like a kid in the playground who won't give anybody else the ball.
PlayStation football.
Yeah, it is running around all the players and some of his
Or
own.
Xbox. I mean,
and
I'm
scoring.
using me.
So a comfortable 2-0 win.
It was easy. It was good.
Took us up to third because Mansfield lost.
Which was good.
Oh,
And
what a result!
I felt absolutely fantastic after
I was
the.
pleased.
So singing wise again.
Singing, go on.
Didn't really take much notice, but there was
I thought
some
it was
good,
good.
there was some good background
I thought it
noise.
was
I didn't time it in because I don't think it's worth it
Nah,
anymore.
it's not worth it now.
They were the first 5-6 minutes after kick-off again, brilliant, fantastic.
Keep it up. the good work.
Still don't know the Tisdale song. There
Oh, I
was
do. It's
Radar
rubbish,
apparently did do a little bit of Elvis.
We had
I
Elvis.
heard.
Yeah, I was thinking of you when it happened. I did
And,
glance across and there was Reader.
But no, there was some good noise again.
Did you
More
hear,
like background noise, which
did
is
you
what
hear
you
the
want.
noise from Club Red?
Yeah, well, I was with them before the game.
Yeah,
they were
They
pleased.
they were all cowshed lads who upgraded
Oh,
and
cool.
into
They
Club
got.
Red.
There was a chap who's in. He went to Montenegro
Yeah.
to watch England, so he gave them he gave
Oh,
them
good
his
for him.
tickets. And they
Four of
were
them
loving
had
it in
that.
Club Red. I mean, they must have spent a fortune in there.
Well, I'm
They all had
pleased for the
food,
club.
which isn't cheap
I'm
anyway.
pleased for the club.
And they were good lads. And
Who was there?
there was basically it was
Don't know them.
half the risk group who have turned over a new leaf, which
That's
is
a
nice to
risk group.
see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, ones that are at risk of being idiots.
Yeah.
They've changed
we
their
had
ways.
such things at
One in
90s.
particular, who I won't name, but
Sandy.
he actually came up to me and Gordon and said,
I'm Sandy.
"I'm a good lad now."
They're
I'm going outside. You blokes stay here. I'm
They
going to
basically are growing up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they finally realised the error of their ways, and this is actually better than the cowshed sitting in there drinking beer and eating food
Exactly.
before the game. So
more
football
fraud
does
than
strange things to strange people. So
I felt fucking great Saturday. I
oh,
don't know why.
after the game, it was amazing.
Because
Absolutely
I
amazing.
left you.
You even went back upstairs for
I know.
afterwards.
I left about the 85th minute, and as I left, going up the stairs, Crewe scored their second against Mansfield, and all the lads from the cowshed who were in there,
Yeah.
they were up
I know.
celebrating like we had scored, and they're going, "Fucking Crewe scored!" So I start running up and start fucking fist pumping up whilst I'm walking up the stairs. I get downstairs, Mansfield have got one back. I thought, oh
There we
shit,
go.
oh shit. But then when it went through, I mean, not just that, the shop would like. It's such a contrast between the shop being busy or quiet, depending if you win, lose, or draw, or whatever. But the shop was fucking buzzing after. Like the pit side bar was a good crack.
You
And
there, Tony?
Well, it was
drinking?
that they came up to the pitch side as well.
Who did?
They often do.
These
anyway, but,
Yeovils.
yeah,
I've got
half a risk group. I'll have half a risk group, please. Thank you.
a good and a bad thing from Saturday.
Oh, go on.
The good thing, Hesketh, how good was he
yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Saturday? And the bad thing was Gilby getting injured.
yeah.
And
Don't know.
I
Any
think-
news on that? Anyone?
I think
Looking at you,
he's,
Sam?
I think he's struggling.
I mean,
He didn't train today
Oh.
or yesterday.
I don't think it's as bad. Someone came up to me and said, "Oh my God, why was he? You know, what happened? What happened?" I'll be honest, I have no idea. They keep their cards very close to
You
their
say
chest
that every
downstairs.
week and then
I don't know.
Gordon,
I
you
don't.
spill the beans every week. He does, don't you, Tony?
Yeah.
I don't.
Tells us
I
everything.
I'll tell
genuinely
you next
don't
week what
know.
he says afterwards.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
tell you,
know.
actually
He
saying
might. I mean, I don't know if he'll play tomorrow. Probably a few, just to be precautionary. I don't actually know about Saturday.
well, we'll be coming
But-
back to this about stuff getting out and all that, because that's an interesting point this week, isn't it? About
We've had an
So-
email about
yeah,
that,
we've
so
had an
we'll...
email about that.
go on.
Sorry, carry on.
Well,
You
what?
carry on.
I don't see the emails. I don't know. I genuinely have.
It's going to be
absolutely
a
no
whole
idea.
section this week on that.
Yeah,
It's
I have
filled.
no
I'm glad
idea.
he's sent that because it's certainly filled this
Yeah,
But
it is.
on
What's
the
the
Well, I've had a email
on the
from
injury
someone.
list, though,
but-
it's good to see Williams back running at least on the training pitch.
Running where?
He's back running.
I hate that bloke.
That could. I mean, that's only good for us. And I know Callum's had his detractors recently, but him coming into the team, as we've
Yeah.
said before, has
His
balanced
delivery,
it, balanced
his
it out
delivery
nicely.
is.
and did
Different
you
class.
and did you hear Tiz afterwards about Callum?
I haven't.
Callum was sick.
He
and
was
didn't- and
45
didn't-
minutes before.
and didn't want to play. He told them he wasn't, and they persuaded him. Could he please? That
Yeah.
was from Tiz's
Fair play.
review.
Help us out, he said. We're in the shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What is
He's
that?
a good lad. And that's
He
the
played-
that,
he
again. That's the
played
team
through
spirit
illness.
as well.
Played through
That's the
illness.
team spirit with and Louis having the freedom of the pitch, especially in the second half,
Mm.
and he was everywhere because
I thought
they
he
let
was
him do it.
rubbish on
They
Saturday.
absolutely
He
let him
was,
do it.
wasn't he?
He was rubbish on Saturday.
Yeah, how he didn't get into that League Two? No, let's not do that League Two.
I've
team
written
anymore,
that
because
down
that's-
here.
Terrible.
Team
that.
of
Well,
the season.
I've got one thing to say about that.
Go
All right,
on.
we'll come back. So we do these emails. We do this first
Right.
one.
Well, I've got one from someone else first.
All right, go on then.
This is from a fella called David Saunders. He does write a lot in.
Yeah.
We've jumped into feedback on, and he's on about the railway thing that you were on about, the group savers thing.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, just to add, i.e. the Tranmere game, group save rail is groups of 3 to 9 people, and in this last bit's in capital letters, so I'm going to shout it, is not valid on Virgin trains.
Right.
Yeah, because
okay.
I said that was towards Colchester, wasn't it? We looked at.
Colchester, yeah.
I thought it was towards. We looked at Colchester.
He's put Tranmere.
Oh well, I don't know. We'll
I
probably
don't think
get
we
called out as
mentioned
well.
We might have mentioned Tranmere. The only
I've-
reason Colchester is a shit one because it's just 19 changes and
It's
it
not.
takes so
You go
long.
down to King's Cross, go to Liverpool
Yeah,
Street,
it's right
straight
for
on to
you,
Colchester.
but for me, I've
Yeah, but
got
it's
to
the
go.
same
I've got to go up to
fucking training, miserable
Glasgow,
git.
come back down again. Fucking hell!
I'm just saying. Right, what have you got?
I've got one from James. James Walsh. He's written in a couple of
Walshy.
times before. Yeah, Walshy, as we know him. He says, "Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
I am really enjoying the podcast and enjoy it when we get those inside snippets of information. I didn't know Tony used to work for the club. He should really shout about that more often. I do feel, however, Tony really let himself down in the last episode, and I felt compelled to get in touch to say why. Club early days legend and cult hero
Michelle Pensibelon.
Who?
Being dismissed by Tony as simply who was
John
quite
O'Neill.
frankly
Oh.
a disappointing
Oh God,
moment.
he was brilliant.
There you go.
I think John did well to contain his obvious distaste and confusion at the situation. Everyone who remembers him will remember him for being an absolute monster of a
He
centre
was a good
half.
player.
Yeah.
I used to love his crazy marauding driving runs forward into the opposition half that were just ridiculous for a centre half. The game with the Gareth Edds goal when we stayed up and we were all on the pitch, I remember everyone rubbing his head and he was loving it.
He
Is
was
it
a-
like some sort
That
of...
would have been before you came.
Is it
I
like
think he
Big stuff.
left after that year season, didn't he?
I'm prepared to forgive Tony for this little incident as long as he makes an open apology in the next episode to Michelle.
Pensibelon.
belong.
So yeah, up yours, Jimbo. No, not going to apologise.
All of that for a no.
And I think that's all the feedback this week.
Well, we've got Matthews. Are we going to go straight
Right,
to
this
Matthews?
is a jump straight into the section which I'm calling general
Right.
chit chat.
There is a question at the end of this which I think
I think it's very
three of
relevant,
us
and I'm
can
glad
answer.
to be quite
No,
honest.
Sam can have a go, but it might
I'm
be a
super
bit too
glad that John's
political.
here because I think John will have a good perspective on this.
Right, yeah.
Different from us.
Okay, so
I already don't
afternoon,
like this.
you might want to go stand outside.
You're leaving
Afternoon,
anyway,
gents.
aren't you? Well, you can. Sam don't have to get involved in this.
No, I'll listen.
Afternoon, gents. In the light of a certain Don's blog published this week, which got the fan base talking, I was wondering your views on the following questions, which I've debated with a mate of mine in relation to the following facts/opinions.
Oh God.
Since the move, MK Don / Wimbledon have suffered more relegations than promotions. Since the move, the club have gone from playing in the Championship / Division 1 as Wimbledon to League 2 as MK Dons. The promised training ground is yet to be delivered, and the promise of consistent Championship football looks at least half a decade away from being a possibility. Question.
Oh.
Has the move and change to Milton Keynes Dons been successful? That is a fantastic
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
Shall we talk about the blog first, or are we not bothered what he says?
Let's get it out of the way, because now I spoke to him earlier in the season. And
What did you say? How's it going?
Exactly. Well,
How's that blog going?
He said, I've got no, and this is what I was going to say about Tiz. The stuff
He's
coming
got
out
no-
of the club is basically zero.
Yeah.
He's got a very tight leash on it. Robbie tried it, was successful in terms of first team stuff getting out, but so we're talking about on the dot, obviously. The people that he spoke to and where he got his information from, it definitely wasn't Carl. Trust me, it
You see
definitely
that?
wasn't Carl. No, me and Carl, something came out on a player that had come in. You'll probably know John. He was in the stadium. He was in for a medical, and there was only literally 3 or 4 people who knew he was there because
Were you
we
one of
didn't
them?
need to know. No, I didn't know who he was. I saw him, but I didn't have a clue who he was. I mean, honestly, if Wayne Rooney came in for a medical at MK Dons, I'd be looking at him thinking, I know him, but I don't know who he is. So this player's come in, and then it's bang, it's out on the dot's got it, it's there. And me and Carl stood waiting for the players to come out for the warm-up, and Carl went, is it you? I went, what? He said, that thing last night that came out. I said, fucking wasn't me, I don't even know the geezer. I said, I wouldn't, if you asked me his name now, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was. And I said, I think it's you. And he went, it's not me. I said, you're a fucking gobshite. You tell everybody everything. And he said, well, I definitely didn't say this. And I said, well, who knew? And we even said at the time, I said, why don't you go round to all the staff, drop a name, a different name to each one,
See who comes up.
and then see which one comes out. I said, but I guarantee you, if you do that with the first team staff, none of those names will get out. Absolutely not one single one of them. It's not a first team member of staff. I'm fairly sure I know who it is, and as are lots of other people in the
Does
club.
he work
But
in the shop? Is he good at printing shirts?
I was
Tony?
going to say, let's call him Sam X.
Sam X.
Or, no,
Housewives
I'm
Favourite.
just saying Sam X with a
Question
one.
mark.
X Swanton.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Was it you, Sam? Is what we're saying. Was
So
you, wasn't it?
he did have various sources who he regularly got information from. Now, whether these people were knowingly giving it to them, so
Or he was just chatting to them.
it could be like, you know. So I could say to John outside on a Saturday when I was kit man, I could say, oh yeah, we had this player
Where
in.
you get
Well, you get
I was kit man, actually, yeah. We had this player in, like
Blimey.
just as a passing
news.
comment,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that.
Suddenly he's got it in his
But
bill.
that's because it's not spectacularly wonderful news.
So
to
what we're
me.
saying is, he was just picking up gossip by chatting to
But
people.
we
He had
still-
very good sources, and the information was very, very
We
good.
still don't know who
However,
it is
yeah.
or whatever.
Anyway,
but-
anyway, getting back to what
we
we were
do,
saying.
we do. But at the same time, at that game earlier in the season, and he said, "I've got no one now. I've got no one." And with all due respect to what he did, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was getting information and he was sending it out to the fans, and it was great. And fans love that stuff. They absolutely love it.
I thought it
But
was a good blog. I'm not
since
slagging the guy off.
certainly since Robbie went, most of his blogs have been opinion based, and it's all very well saying, because I read one of his blogs, I think it was in very early this year, and he said, "I know for a fact that in November," and I thought, well, it's easy to say that now. You know, something that we know to be factual.
No.
Anybody can say that. Now, he may well have known that for a fact in November. I don't know, but at the same time, his recent blogs have been opinion based and so on, and he's had a bit of grief because remember last time he came off social media, he tore his out the pram and for an absolute wobble.
I'll be honest with you. Someone once said to me ages ago when we did that fanzine, I can remember we were driving to St Neots for a pre-season friendly with this person, and I can distinctly remember this person saying to me, if you're prepared to get involved in stuff like this, what you're doing is you're sticking your head above the parapet, and what you've got to expect is people are going to shoot at you.
Of course.
So if we're doing this, we get slagged off for doing this. I couldn't give a fuck what people think.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
bollocks
Couldn't give
to
a
them.
shit. In fact,
You know?
the more you hate me,
Yeah, the better
the more I
it is.
like it.
That's,
I'm not
you
going to
must
lie,
fucking
because
love it then, to be quite honest.
people aren't going to sit and listen.
Tony's
to
grown a foot in the last
pleasantries
3
and that,
months.
are they? No, they want people shouting. I'm telling them this shit.
What I'm saying by that is that if you're prepared to put yourself out there, you've got to be prepared to
Yeah.
accept criticism. To basically, well, he didn't throw his toys out the pram. I mean, I did it before, but you know, like I said in the concrete roundabout, no one gives a shit if you go or if you don't go. You just like no one thinks, oh, he's not here, because they just don't think
Well,
about it. Just
another
understand
bloke
it.
did it on
when I'm in Club Red on a Saturday, I have a routine. I'll walk round the concourse and I'll meet a few of my friends who used to be in the green section.
You know what you like, John? You're like those kids in that block of flats that aren't allowed to play in the poor people and the rich people's thing. He comes from the rich kids' playground.
I've
and
told
says,
you not to talk to
"You're
them.
not
I've told you
playing
not to go
That's
around
what you like,
there.
don't you?
Good.
You know his dad.
Good
You know his
analogy.
dad.
Good
Hey?
analogy. That.
So anyway,
Definitely.
carry on.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got this routine, a bit like our friend walking round from Club Red round to the concourse the other side and meeting a few of the guys that I used to sit with. And I always used to stop at this particular part of the ground and speak to a few people. And now 5 of those people now have disappeared this season.
Aren't they?
And I spoke to one a couple of days ago who I didn't see last Saturday, and he
Really?
said, I've just had enough, just fed up with it. And this is somebody you would never have imagined would just walk away. He just said he's getting so disillusioned with the club, disillusioned with the lack of information about the training ground. You know, I said, for Christ's sake, you know, we're in the promotion slots again, and you know, I don't care. He said, I just gave it up Saturday because I had better things to do.
What I would say about what he's asked us in that question is, have we ever been promised anything?
Well, Paul
Has
had his
Pete-
5-year plan, didn't he?
Has Pete ever turned round and said, I promise you this is what's going to happen?
I'll tell you what he has. I'll
said,
tell you what he has
this is
done.
what will happen? He's not promised
I'll
it,
tell you
has
what he has done over the years, and more.
I'll tell you what he
recently,
hasn't done.
obviously.
Had his hair cut or washed.
He's been honest. He's said
I've never
things
washed my
like,
hair.
if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it happened all over again, I wouldn't do it.
This is what he said once. He says,
Well, he would have.
I'm a stranger to Head and Shoulders.
He would have built the training ground where it should have been built in the first place.
Which
Where
was
all-
where?
he also
where all the retail units are
yeah,
and the cinema.
but he also said
That's where they were going to have the original training ground. And do you know, I think this is pretty good information. I believe that who had a say in that not being built there was Martin Allen.
yeah.
He's an idiot, that bloke.
When he came as manager, he said it's a bad idea to have a training ground next to
the ground.
where
Yeah,
where
I'd
you
agree with
actually,
that. I'd agree with that. Yeah,
So
Why?
it was-
because the stadium should be special.
Oh, he's an
It
idiot,
should
that
be
bloke.
it should be a place where the players only go once a week to play their games. It shouldn't be some. It should be. This is why, although they come to the stadium in the morning, they do not use the home changing room. They use the away
They're
changing
all
room.
idiots, those
The
blokes.
home changing room is sacred.
Yeah.
You know, we've had all sorts of offers of. We were doing stadium tours, me and Sam, over like 2 or 3 years ago.
That one used to work at the club.
When I used to work at the club, and
That's what I'll say soon.
the club had been asked if a company, if they paid for the privilege, if they could hold a meeting in the home change room, because it would be a nice thing, you know, sat in the MK Dons change room, and it was a flat no, you can't, because that is exclusive. That is only for the first team or stadium tours. In this
Anyway,
case,
shall we
or
get
sponsor.
back to this question?
Yeah, so I would say Pauline's had his 5-year plan. If we're honest, and we're what, 15 years down the line now, aren't we? Pretty much. We are in a worse position
We are.
than we were.
You'd be lying if you said we weren't.
In terms of infrastructure, it's
Obviously,
great. We've got the
much
whole
better,
lot.
right?
You know what that blog said about the putting the money into the commercial side of things. Now, I lost my job recently
You did?
for
Commercial reasons.
for commercial reasons.
Yeah.
So stripping the club down, but still putting the money in, still concentrating on the corporate side of things. I don't have an issue with that, even though it cost me my job. If that means they concentrate on that to bring the bigger money in, because it's not going to come from increased season ticket sales. Let's be honest. You can't put prices up, and if you do, it could only be a tiny amount. In fact, it's now 312, isn't it? With a
Next year we've
you
scrapped
don't even,
the disclaimer.
You don't even have to have a membership.
You're completely free. You can pay $10 if you want to be a member and get the pack, but you can just bring them for free with a season ticket or just day by day. So
so we're actually technically going to be, in theory, losing more money from that point of view. However, I don't have an issue with the club concentrating on the corporate side.
So
of
do
things.
you think, as he's asked, that we're in a worse position now than when we moved here?
Well, what he said, has the move and change to Milton Keynes Dons been successful? Commercially, probably yes.
I would
But
say
in terms of actual football,
it depends how you look at it, because obviously everyone knows that it's very well documented that it depends what you class as success, in my opinion, because if you look at the business model that Pete has brought to the club and to the stadium and to the arena and to everything, it is leaps and bounds above any, and this is me speaking of just my opinion. We are leaps and bounds above a lot of those 92 other clubs in that football league, including the Premier League, purely because you've got got us bringing in money, you've got the arena bringing in money, you've got the hotel. The arena is near enough booked out every week. The hotel is sold out Monday to Friday every single week, and it's things like that. Monday to Thursday, sorry.
and
then
at the weekend, Fridays. Where'd they go?
I don't know.
They don't work.
Probably the Pinks.
Oh, right.
But the business model that he has introduced, and that, you know, now you're looking at it this year, we've got Take That, we've got Rod Stewart, we've got Rammstein. Bear in mind, Rammstein's only got one UK tour,
You know why
and it's in
that is?
England.
'Cause no
but
one likes them.
at the same time,
And
I'm also very I'm also
UB40,
very
have you
wary.
mentioned them?
Huh?
UB40.
I like UB40
Yeah,
actually.
they're coming.
I know, I'm going.
Nah, I ain't
Well,
going
it
to
depends.
that. I ain't going
But
to
at the same
any.
time, I know that
Completely.
people are also wary that I've spoken a lot of good things, and all those things I've just said about don't necessarily affect the football side of
Right,
things.
here's what I think.
So, as a business model, it puts us in a great position to
Right,
be able to go
okay.
and do things.
Yes.
But
However, Sam, your average punter that sits in the stands couldn't give a shit about that.
no, but that's what I
they
mean.
care
No,
about
no,
is-
but that's what I'm saying.
What they care about is watching what we watched on Saturday, which, to be quite honest with you, wasn't great.
Yeah.
We
Look-
weren't brilliant, and they were shit.
I am going to
I
say,
still-
and
I
John will
still
probably
come-
agree,
I
it
still come
eases the
down-
pain a bit,
I still
being in
come
Club
down-
Red and the stadium itself.
my theory, I still hold with the theory is you haven't got a divine right
No, of course
to
not.
win
Obviously,
or be
no.
successful
No.
No,
in
true.
anything apart from
Well, what JT
you
always harks back
What
to
do I
the
say?
same thing. It is that you're talking about a fan base that currently is heavily populated by people of our age
That have got
who
other
are
teams.
30 and above who
Yeah.
have another team, and it is quite easy to just say, "Do you know what, fuck it, I'll stay at home."
No, it is.
I will. I know for a fact now. Me and Sam spoken about this at length several times. That I can't ever imagine not being at a Dons game every single week for the rest of my life.
I really enjoy going.
I'm the same, and I've been since day one.
I
The
tell you
very
why I
first
enjoy
game.
going now. I enjoy going now because when I stopped going at the end of the championship season, And when I started coming back, I distinctly said to myself, I'm not going to get hooked into this the way I did before, and that's why I'm enjoying it more. Because, all right, it's annoying when you lose, but I don't get, I'm not going to do a Sandy Gallagher and throw all my toys out.
But this is it. This is what you need to. And there was a bloke on Facebook.
What did he say?
I think you also got in that conversation. I don't have anything to do with a Facebook group. I hate it, but.
You seem to know a lot about it.
You still get it.
It pops up, and I was reading it, and he said, "That's it," and he pretty much said the exact same thing. That's it. I've had enough.
I said,
and I said, if you don't want to come, don't come. Yeah. But if you want to watch a team because that's what you do, or that's what the reality is, then keep coming. But no one cares if you want to come or not.
I know.
And if you want to say those sort of things, that's fine. But at the same time, you can't have it both ways.
The thing about Milton Keynes Dawn, since it's been in Milton Keynes and when Wimbledon came, it's not only about the football; it's about the community, the people that I have met, the people, the friends that I would never have met.
Well, tell everybody what you said over dinner.
What'd you have for dinner, by the way?
You said we had Nando's on me.
Was Jabbo beer there?
I might have met people in my life, but not the vast amount of people that I know now in Milton Keynes because of the. You walk in a supermarket, you talk about the Dons.
Yeah.
I go bowling on a Wednesday morning. Talk about the Dons.
Yeah. Football is one of those rare things.
It's completely
that brings people
universal,
together. Music can bring people together, but immediately there'll be
going
disagreements.
back to the original question: is it successful or not? Which I was going to touch on earlier, but fuck it, here we are. If Wimbledon stayed as it was, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Outright, maybe had one more season. It would not have functioned. It wouldn't have gone into administration. It wouldn't have had a slap on the wrist and saying you've taken 10 points off. They would have liquidated. Mm-hmm. Outright gone. They would have gone. So the fact that they've moved up, and we are, as far as I'm aware, and I don't know, and this is purely speaking from working in an environment where the arena is always busy, the hotel is always busy, and we still get between 7,000 and 10,000 every home game.
Yeah. Even
in League Two, second highest home attendance in the league. It is a success. The model is a success. Like you were saying earlier, part of me, yes, I am leaving, but I was saying to Tony earlier, I'm gutted for leaving because, yes, I've grown up for 20 years being an Arsenal fan, whereas now at the weekend I celebrated that chucked goal more so probably than I would have an Arsenal goal because it affects me more. If Arsenal lose, the weekend we played Swindon and we lost, I could not give an absolute monkeys that Arsenal beat Huddersfield because to me, if like I said to you, I think around Christmas, if you'd have offered me Arsenal to get top 4 or Don to go up, I wouldn't have even let you finish a sentence. I said Don to go up.
Yeah.
So for someone like me who had been to Milton Keynes 3 times in my life before I started working here, because obviously I live 25 miles away in Hitchley, if you didn't know, because I used to be kit man.
Tell you where it doesn't live.
Definitely not, Steve. It's definitely not Luton.
But I had been to Milton Keynes 3 times in my life, and I had absolutely no connection to the club whatsoever. Had no idea about the history, didn't know where the stadium was, absolutely no connection. Whereas now, I'm going to move up north, and I will still consider myself, if ever there's a game up north, and I'm going to go to it because I would consider myself, this is my. People say you can't have a second club. You can have a second club.
Plenty of people do.
And
plenty of people.
so,
me, Tony.
In that aspect,
Rangers, me. That's it.
And with the club of it, is it successful? I firmly believe it is because you see it every Saturday in the red dot bar.
The thing is, how do you measure success? It's an ongoing project.
You can't.
It's still. And I mean, we're very young in it.
Well, I think what you said, you hit the nail on the head there with the
toddler.
community. The community thing is massive.
Massive.
And
Set. Look at Set.
Yeah, the set, the 18 inclusion teams, the ladies team.
And thousands of people.
Yeah.
I still
That
think
would
women
not
should
have
be
been
allowed to
about-
play football.
Oh fuck! I really hope you cut that bit out.
No, I'm keeping that.
Disclaimer: I don't believe that.
No, I do.
I
A
mean,
man's
I
game,
do.
Tony, that.
I've had
Yeah,
people.
football.
I've had people come into me before.
What they say, women shouldn't be allowed to play football, Sam.
Especially last season when they say that we are in a
A relegation
turmoil.
dogfight.
We're in a
heart
disaster.
attack.
We're in all this stuff. We're in a crisis. That's what the crisis. And I just sit there and I can't help but laugh. I completely get everyone's entitled to their opinion. Of course, I'll spend a lot of money with the club, and I completely understand that. But I say to them, right, go and speak to a Leyton Orient, a Blackpool, a Darlington, a Portsmouth, a Luton, all of these clubs that have been had genuinely been dropped out of the league, dropped out of
Russian and Diamonds.
dropped out of completely everything.
Stockport, that's another
And
one.
they're still,
Trying to think now. Who
you know,
else?
and they're still here. You know, Torquay had a bit of a shit time. Look at Chesterfield, built a new ground, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Now they're in the National League. They just sacked
and
Martin Allen.
they will also have those fans who will never leave.
Yeah, and they do, but
Because that's what
and
they
we
do.
don't have that. And people need to realise that we are completely different to any other football club in the Football League because we are a baby. We were formed in 2004, not 1904.
That's a
which the
very
majority
good
did.
point.
And it's
You
a clean
can't-
slate as well.
You can't really compare what happens at
can't.
Milton Keynes with any other.
You can't at all. Not.
It's a
And for
completely
me,
unique-
for us being as young
thing.
as we are, and Pete walked into MK Dons, or whatever, how we call it, founded, whatever,
That's the
and he
thing.
did it with no
Yeah.
experience in
That's the
football
thing.
whatsoever.
That's the thing. You know, all of these other clubs that are established have got, the criteria is different. Ours is completely different.
It was a
Yeah,
completely
completely
clean slate
different.
as
We
well.
didn't have a clue
Yeah.
about
Completely,
football.
If you
completely
ask
different.
You said.
Andy Callum why he gave up a job at
Norwich.
Norwich
Norwich.
City
Yeah.
to come to Milton Keynes
He
Dons,
said, I don't like pies, he said.
he said, I don't like Delia, I don't like pies.
Pies are rubbish.
It
Like Savage, he
was,
said.
He kept asking me where am I,
It
and
was
I didn't
simply
know.
because it was brand new.
Yeah.
It was a clean slate,
Yeah.
and he said he'd been given this club, and there you go and
Do it,
do
yeah.
what
And he
it
is
you
one
do.
of the most knowledgeable men
So
in
what are we
football,
saying then?
and
Successful
Absolutely.
or not
Oh, it's
successful?
a many-faceted question, is it
It
not?
is.
So
So
difficult
if you were
to-
going to say success on the pitch, purely on the pitch, you'd have to say
I wouldn't
it's not
say
gone that
I would,
well,
I
to
would
be
not
fair.
say I
Not
would
really.
not say in any aspects of I will hold my hands up and say it has definitely not been unsuccessful.
there are
I
more
firmly
successful
believe that.
facets than there are
I firmly,
unsuccessful.
and I'm not even
Yeah.
being a partial person because I work for the club. I will stand up and I'll say and I'll argue to anyone it has not been unsuccessful, and I've never even thought that it could be. That's the first time.
We're now a proper club because we've had
Really
that
good.
manager
Yep.
that absolutely
Yep.
destroyed us.
He did.
I don't know if you know, but I used to work for the club as kit man.
Yeah.
And I've been to quite a few stadiums around the country and seen the inner workings and the like.
And they're all shit.
And the only place that comes close, in fact, is better than ours, to be honest, is Brighton.
Brighton,
But
so
every
that, yeah.
other stadium I've ever been to doesn't even come close. The facilities. And how much, if you went to, I don't know, even a championship club and had an equivalent seat and
Reading.
facilities as Club Red,
Well,
how
Reading's
much
are
would that
similar.
ticket cost you on a match day? You're probably upwards of 45, 50
40,
quid.
50 quid, yeah.
32 quid on the day as well. And your season, how much is your season ticket, John?
It's about
What,
five.
season ticket?
Yeah.
Well, might get a senior one now.
Oh yeah, you're
I think
really
they're-
old, isn't he?
Adults about
It's
560.
lasted well.
Yeah.
How
Adults
much
about
is mine in
560.
the
You're not
township?
going to get those facilities
That's 320.
for a
320.
standard match. Then it is a standard
640
match
for
day
me, I've
ticket.
got two.
Anybody can buy that.
Sun
Anybody
30
can buy
quid
that.
for a ticket for
Yeah.
Club Red.
Yeah,
It is,
even
and
platinum.
we
If you wanted a
don't-
one-off
But
in
the season
platinum,
ticket's
Yeah.
under.
I might do
We
that.
don't
Quid,
piss around
whatever
with raising ticket price. Well, I mean we haven't done. I don't know what we've done next
He hasn't
year.
done three.
I hope I'm shot myself at the foot
last
there,
three
but-
seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, and people complain saying, "Oh, why do you freeze the prices when we got relegated to League Two?" It's like, well, we didn't put them up when we got to the Championship
yeah, exactly.
because we wanted to. We focus on retention and not adding in. We wanted to retain it in the first place. Whereas now,
you
we
can't
go in-
price yourself
and
out
if
of the
we were
market
to
in the
go-
Championship because you're attracting new fans.
and if we were to go back up this year, and I really hope we do,
I hope
we've
you stay in
frozen.
League Two, I'm
We've
enjoying it.
we've frozen them, but yet no one will say. No one will walk in and say, "Oh, fair play, you've frozen them."
I will.
So,
But-
short answer to the question is:
Yes and no.
if you're gonna talk about if it's successful, you have to break it down
You
into
do.
those individual
I
parts.
do.
And
I think
I'd
it's a-
say there are far more successes like the arena,
I think it's a
retention
firm,
of fans, the
the
stadium
business
itself.
model, the community part
Yeah.
of it.
The only
the-
thing that's missing is the training ground, and that is the only thing. I mean, I don't get annoyed about it, but
a
the
lot
training
of
ground thing is. But the chairman
Yeah,
said
there's been
a
a lot
few
of-
years ago he actually he knew then, and he knows now definitely, it wasn't top of his list when it should have been top of his list.
There's a lot of people in Club Red that I know who are unhappy about some of the things that are happening. They seem to be focusing more on the hotel rather than Club Red on a match day. We get squeezed out sometimes at the end of Club Red. They'll
No,
push
really?
the partitions up because they've got another function going on.
No.
Now they say, well, we can't do anything about it. We've got this.
You know what that is?
There would be no.
That's the
what
even posher
these-
kids getting into the other playground.
But what
That's what that is.
they've got to remember is these other people in the hotel and everybody else is there wouldn't be a
Sorry.
hotel, there wouldn't be anything else there if there wasn't a football club.
Exactly.
There has to be a bit of give and take on that. I agree with that. Yeah.
We in Club Red, and I've said it as well. I've raised my voice about it in Club Red. That why we've got that for a Saturday. We should have that for a Saturday from X time till X time.
Yeah.
And if they've got a wedding going on or something, they'll just have to say, well, your reception is going to be after 6 o'clock when Club Red's everybody's left Club Red.
If you are
the match presentation,
if you're hiring that place,
seem to be rushing stuff through.
If you're hiring that place for a function on a match day, you must appreciate that it's a football ground and there's going to be football fans there. That's what I would say. I can see your point of view. I don't care about Club Red
historically. And again, this isn't based on any facts other than the fact that I'm always right. They probably could have sold the ballroom every Saturday for the last 15 years, if there was a home match or not. People will have inquired about that, and as we know, Sam will tell you, at Christmas time, every single night.
You can't get in there.
Every single night from the middle of November, Christmas parties.
I'm going.
The arena. Just the Mercedes one on its own.
Let's have the Christmas party in the ballroom.
I'll come back.
Let's just hire the arena.
Just me and you.
Just hire the arena.
Me and you.
Get a big screen and just do karaoke.
Just sit there, me and you.
That's a really good idea.
But whilst yes, I do agree. But
podcast karaoke.
But now every new stadium, every new complex, every new everything is included. Look at Luton. Stadium, but it's not just a stadium anymore. It's a complex. You got retail. You got the function.
That's the only way to do it, Sam. These days, you can't just build a football.
You can't because it needs to be financially stable.
Because it won't work.
Because you need to have a stadium, but you need
enough money from fans.
Because you need X, Y, Z, a bloody shop and a cinema and a hotel.
Look at the shit stadium that are
for the stadium.
Them we cannot mention their stadium.
Yeah. Well,
conversely, look at
Darlington. Right, look at Darlington. They built a stadium on its own, nothing around it. Yeah. They lasted for 3 years?
I know.
Yeah.
4 years.
So you imagine,
and that was just a stadium.
We have a 336 roomed hotel, which is near enough sold out every week.
You're plugging that hotel well.
It's great. But it's good. But I'm not.
There's no need to plug it because it's full every day.
And Tony will back to breakfast. It's worth it.
Breakfast like Tony. You're a man that likes food.
Oh, I do like a brekkie, and
I've got a room booked.
The whole gamut is that.
I've got a room booked after the 4th of Mansfield.
Right, I think we need to move on.
Anyway,
have we got a quiz?
I've got one. Yeah.
Also, following on from that email, I got a feeling that the previously promised on the dot appearance on this show
is
probably
off now. I was thinking that the other night. I probably thought, well, he's not
so you
coming
can
on.
stop that. You got to stop knitting that balaclava we were going to put on so no one would recognise it.
Do you want to? I mean, I only do quiz at the end, but do you want to?
I think it would be a good idea for him to come on and speak.
I won't come on now. When I thought
probably not. No.
Do you want to do about tickets? No.
What tickets we got?
I was only going to
do Forest Green.
No, but I will say that we.
Is this Forest Green related?
Yeah, but it's not.
I knew it was. Go on, do Forest Green.
I don't think I should do Forest Green.
No,
but we've sold over 400.
We've sold lots, and you should come. There you go. Finish. Forest Green's done.
Over 400, is it?
Yeah, over 400. Yeah, but JT doesn't give a fuck, does he?
No.
We've done Forest Green. This is the 5th week we've had Forest Green.
No, I didn't do it last week.
You didn't.
I didn't. I said I wouldn't do it.
I'm going to go back and listen.
I didn't.
Actually, no. I think we said no. We'll just skip it because we got bored of it.
Ah, well. 4 weeks then.
Right, you know what? Bollocks to your tickets then. Look on the website if you want to go to a fucking game.
Not hard to do that.
No, okay.
Quiz.
Quiz.
What's the score?
4-3.
Do you want a bit of a comeback?
John, you're in. If you know the answer, don't shout out. Just let Sam know you can get points and beat
so
us.
you can't say anything.
Actually, we're going to get absolutely hammered this week, aren't we? Because John's here.
John will know other players.
Right. Ready?
No.
Yeah.
20. Oh, I'm not used to being in the middle of you. I feel.
No, right. Sorry.
24th of Jan, 1994, making him 25.
Chucks and Ike.
21 appearances, 1 goal. Remember, this is league. This isn't. It might not include
Simon
cups.
Church.
Mark.
Fucking hell, Simon. He was a pundit for the Wales game of the weekend. They must have been clutching at straws.
Wasn't even listening to the first
Mark Randall.
24th of Jan, 1994, 21 appearances, 1 goal.
Mark Randall.
25.
He's older than 25, isn't he?
Yeah.
Basically, that means it's not him.
Yeah.
No, not Mark Randall, man. I've said Simon Church, don't I?
It's actually not decent.
His 1 goal came in the 4-3 defeat to Bury earlier this season in January.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no!
Aidan Nesbitt. He scored a goal, Tony.
No,
he
he's
did.
26, mate.
He's not, mate.
Johnny, you can write it on your phone and show me if you think you got it right.
And now show me first.
No, time passing.
Hold on.
No, come on.
Jordan Moore Taylor.
Was it really?
Got it.
Oh, well done, Tony.
Boom!
The header.
GMT.
He's got it.
The header.
9th minute.
Yeah, it's a good
Against
one because
Bury.
obviously he's been out for a while.
Don's
Good
going to say
one, Tony.
160 appearances
Good one, mate.
for Exeter, and he's
I would
spent
have done
6
it for me.
years at Exeter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
speak.
header.
Right, next one. 2nd of October 1991, making him 27.
Kieran Agard.
Nesbitt. He's just had his birthday, so he's 27
Ah,
now.
right. 27 now.
No.
No,
40
right.
appearances, 2 goals.
George Baldock.
Paul Goddard.
I'm just making
Just
names
make
up
that up.
now.
Represented Northern Ireland at every level from under 19s.
Lee Hudson.
Well, he's jumped in, he gets it. Eh?
He's got it. Oh, he's on fire!
Oh,
Fucking
I'm
hell.
fair this week, Tony. 2-0, what?
Should have said played for Rangers.
Oh, that was my last one.
What was it? Played for Rangers.
Yeah, signed from Watford in 2013. Currently contracted to Rangers.
He's on
Doesn't
loan
play
to
for them, does he?
somewhere,
He's on loan at St Mirren.
Is he? Good.
4th of March 1991 makes him 28.
That's Chucks and Nike, that is. That is Tony.
Alex Gilby.
18 appearances and 4 goals.
Oh, good return.
How old did you say he was? 27?
28.
28. Oh no, I was taking that 27-year-old.
Ryan Harley.
Aaron Duran.
And done.
Signed on loan from Cardiff in 2017.
17. Oh, it's not
That's
I'm
championship
thinking of
season, isn't it?
then, but I should know this.
It's not Simon Church because he's from that
got
shit
it.
Southampton club.
Okay.
Is it Morrissey?
Oh, no, but John's got it.
Not Morrissey.
That's not Morrissey, no.
Not Morrissey at the Smiths, no.
Definitely not Aretha.
I thought it might have been Morrissey myself.
No? Oh, sorry, I thought you guessed.
No, I can't think, no.
No.
He said Morrissey, is that his
I said
chance?
Morrissey, yeah.
Morrissey. So, following his loan finishing in the summer of 2017 with us, he went back on loan to Portsmouth for the following season. So he was playing for Cardiff,
Yeah.
came on loan to us in January 2017, January
And
window.
then went to
He
Portsmouth.
went back to Cardiff in the summer, and then the following season went to Portsmouth on loan for the season.
Is he still at Portsmouth now? Because that's 18-19.
No, he's not currently playing for Portsmouth. As he got a free clue there.
Wow.
Signed for us from Cardiff in January 2017. Went back to Cardiff for the summer. And then he went to Portsmouth for a season-long loan.
No, we're in League One then, weren't we? Not Championship.
This,
Yeah.
I was Kitman, wasn't I?
Yep.
Oh, he's one of your boys, Tony. You
One of
know
my
who he
boys.
is.
Yeah, but every time, you do know that every time you've said he's one of my boys, you've never got the actual player.
I was trying to think who
So you've just fucked
signed.
yourself now.
That was Robbie.
Oh, I wasn't you then, was I? I'd stopped coming for a little while.
Osmond So.
He came from bloody Egypt or
Cardiff.
something like
Didn't he come from fucking Cardiff?
that. No, I don't know.
No.
mate.
Last clue
Yeah.
is that he made his debut in the MK50 commemorative game against Bolton where we drew 1-1.
I'm better with the older fellas, to be quite honest. I'm shit with the new ones.
Nicky Maynard. I don't know. I genuinely
Give me
don't
one
know.
last chance. Chucks and Ike.
No,
Said him.
O'Keefe.
Stuart O'Keefe.
Oh!
He's one of your boys, Tony, remember?
Fussy as fuck as well.
No, he's currently
I
I
wouldn't
think
have got
he's
him.
currently playing for Plymouth.
Yeah.
I want to go
No, he
him.
was fussy about his shirts, wasn't he?
Was he?
No, he wasn't fussy about his shirts. It's just his shirts were printed poorly.
I liked
That as
him.
well, yeah, that as
I
well,
liked
yeah.
him.
He was a good player.
Yeah,
he
I
was,
think
yeah.
we actually tried to resign
Yeah,
him.
we
in
did
the-
want him. Yeah, we did want to keep him. Yeah,
I think he was a great,
and he wanted to stay as well. If I
I
remember
remember
rightly.
great player.
So you can draw still.
So what was that? That was the third one, was it?
You're 2-0 up. That was the
Yeah,
third one.
alright,
You can
okay.
still draw.
Right. Okay. Come on.
18th of June 1986 makes him 32.
Sean O'Hanlon.
No, it's not him. 32, did you say?
32.
Nicky Maynard.
79 appearances, 12 goals.
Decent return.
That's a good
He's got
return.
one midfielder there, hasn't he? Mark Carrington.
Oh, I'm trying to think. That idiot that plays for bloody Stevenage, that twat that used to play for us.
Oh, the tall one.
Yeah, then went to bloody Northampton for a while.
I know.
He-
Yeah, I know who you're
it's,
talking about.
it's not him.
Ah,
It's not Ravel.
That's who I thought.
He didn't
it
play
was.
that many times.
No. He came at the end, didn't he?
He had one permanent spell,
Oh.
followed by 3 consecutive loan spells.
That is
God,
Jason
here we
Punchin.
go.
Yep,
He's
bang!
Oh!
Well done, Johnny boy.
Followed by
Tell us your Jason Punchin fact, John. Who used to be your lodger?
Yes. Yeah, Jason Puncheon used to lodge with me.
There you go.
Really?
When they moved up as Wimbledon.
Well, I was about to say, he played for Wimbledon 8 times and he
Yes.
currently plays for Huddersfield on loan from Palace.
What was the last
Good
clue?
player.
Used to lodge with John Samuel.
Yeah.
Oh, so it could be a draw.
Oh,
Right,
Johnny
go, I'm not
Hawkins.
panicking yet.
You are.
7th of September 1995 makes him 23.
Conor McCrandles.
James Loveridge.
You can't stand him, can you?
15 appearances, no league goals.
Ah.
Oh, there's a clue there. There's a clue there. Doesn't help us, does
One
it?
of those two Spanish morons.
I didn't play
They
15
played
times.
times between them. Ian Jury.
They didn't play 15 times at Woofton, let alone the...
So they were at Woofton, Tony.
Oh, well, they're training there.
Extra clue.
Insider
Tony.
info.
No,
Oh,
No.
I've said one of those
Okay.
two Spanish idiots.
Represented Wales at every level from under 17s.
That's Simon Church, that is.
Simon Church has been 28.
Johnny
23.
Williams.
No, he's older than that. And ugly as well.
Oh, yeah, you don't
Currently
look
plays for Forest Green.
George Williams.
Yeah, George Williams.
I'm surprised he's bloody.
Next one is that he's the youngest
He was the
scorer.
youngest goal scorer.
16 years, 2 months
against
and 5
Lancaster-
days
Against Lancaster.
against Nantwich Town
Nantwich.
in the FA
Hands
Cup.
up.
And he still is the youngest player to ever score in the FA Cup round
is.
proper.
Hands up if that made you cry
Not
when he
me.
scored.
Nah.
I
Who was
cried.
the youngest player to score in a competitive MK Dons match?
Dele
Dele.
Alli.
No.
Competitive.
Yeah.
Chuck
Oh,
Zaniki.
him?
No.
This
Who-
is an
who
extra
was?
question, this is.
George Williams? No?
No. Who was?
Sam Bulldog.
That
To
could be
play him.
Oh, I don't like being this side of the quiz.
No, it's not Dylan, is it? Or something like that? Or Kabongo?
Giorgio
or
Rizzulo.
Giorgio. Give yourself a point.
Thank you, I will.
Well, that's 5-3 then, isn't
5-3,
it?
yeah.
15 and something.
Ah, they were good.
Against who?
Can't remember now. But
Oh, right. Well, I'm buzzing. Got that. Nice one. I get to go and as well.
Well
Thank
played.
you.
Right, any other business to
Any
Yeah,
other
I've got some
business
ticket
other
news
than
for
the,
Forest Green.
Ticket news for Forest Green, please.
I actually will say that Colchester should be on sale next week.
Yeah,
And we
have no idea on prices.
have no idea on prices yet because they're a little bit mental.
Yeah.
up and down, aren't they?
But we have asked for a lot and I hope that we can fill it.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
and
going
I
to say.
think we will do very well.
Yeah, Lincoln's attendance is looking very nice.
5,000, I've heard.
It's looking very, very
They've sold
good.
4-3, they reckon, today.
Ah.
Another one of those strange quirks of we won't ever come to your
No.
club, yet so many clubs bring their record attendances to
They're
us.
bringing half their
Weird.
home attendance
It was
away
on their
Yeah.
from their site today, so
Yeah.
it's their biggest crowd this century.
this century.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, biggest away
That's
following
good, isn't it?
since
Yeah,
they
so-
took
I can only say
4,000.
one thing. Thanks for your money.
Never forgive, never forget, but,
But-
you're welcome to come along and spend your money with us.
That Milton Keynes Dons is not really
No,
a
it's not.
success, is it?
Yeah, it's not a real
Yeah,
club.
and Kieran
is it?
Aid.
Well, there you go.
It's
There's
not a
another
success.
thing.
Why would people want to come here?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not. All right, I'll come, but I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll get a burger and a program.
Yeah, Kieran Agard's shit.
Yeah. Right then, Forest Green predictions. For
Oh, we're
JT,
going.
Are you going?
No.
He's not going.
I'm
John's
going.
going. John's going. All right then. Go on, JT.
Oh, I'm going 2-1 to us.
2. I'm not 2-0.
Nah.
Right,
I reckon
2-1.
they'll sneak
Samuel?
one.
I might say 1-1.
Oh, that hurts.
I don't want to
That
say it.
hurts. Oh God. Well,
I
I've
don't
got
wanna
2
s-
hours in the car with you to convince you to change it to something nil
Too late now.
or nil something.
Fuck, I'm gonna have. Sorry, they're
All right.
probably.
Oh, you've said it now.
they're
You've
they're
said
one
it
of the
now.
best sides I've seen play here this
They
season.
were. They totally outplayed
very
us, so
good.
we still didn't lose.
And I just hate the fact that we've got a player who plays for them now. I don't like it.
And he's a very good player as
Yeah,
well.
I don't
to be
like
fair.
it.
John? Take time, mate.
I think it'll be a draw myself. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Desmond,
I'm going 2-0. Surprisingly comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I think. 2-1
Comfortably
for us.
numb, as
If
as
we
it used to
win-
be called. I've now changed.
if we win, I will be a vegetarian for a week.
That
Well,
won't last a week.
No, it won't.
Don't put
I
yourself
know why I
out.
said that. Stupid
We'll
thing
get
to
a
say.
McDonald's on the way home.
Yeah.
You know it.
Find
Mind you,
Greg's.
there's no meat in
We'll
McDonald's, so...
we'll go Greg's and find a veggie sausage roll.
Yeah.
Actually, quite nice.
Well, there you go. So,
1-0, I think.
send us your... Actually, I did want to
Oh,
say,
go on.
we were genuinely thinking about doing something at the end of the season, weren't we?
We are. I don't know what it is.
Whether it is just a general get-together. I know we used to have the FA Cup thing at Wetherspoons, but if someone fancy doing something
They've
a
all
bit more
shut
grand...
down, haven't they?
A bit more grand.
Did you see that in the paper?
Yeah, 3 of them at the same time.
That's
I
weird,
think
isn't
I
it?
know why. I'll tell you after.
Oh,
Um,
don't forget.
there is plans afoot for us to do something at the end of the season. We are thinking maybe just to get together in a place, a specific place that we
Yes.
may or may not hire. If you fancy doing it, we can gauge numbers of that. Maybe we'll put a poll up on
Yeah, let's
Facebook
do
or
that.
Twitter or something like that.
I'm not.
Would you be
doing
interested? Would you pay a nominal
that.
fee
I'm saying no.
or whatever? So John won't come, but
Not wrong.
which makes think that more people might come then. So,
More people
yeah,
come.
yeah.
Tell you what, why don't me and you not go?
Or we could just get a pillory and we'll just stand there, you know, some
Stand there,
stocks or
let
something.
people throw things at us.
I'll just be there holding a beer, just waiting for people to arrive.
So yeah, send us your emails on mkdonsradioshow@gmail.com and your abuse and your jingles and everything else. But if you've got an idea for an end of season thing that you can guarantee people will turn up to and won't cost too much, let us know. But I'm thinking karaoke. Again, I just love karaoke.
You love your
so,
karaoke, you don't you?
Yeah, and the end of season get together. If you fancy it, let us
Tell you
know.
what I'm doing. Back the knife. I've chosen my song already.
Great song, to be fair.
Good
It's a
song, isn't
great
it?
song, especially on karaoke
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
brilliant.
good, lots of crowd participation.
I'd go Waterfall by Stone Roses and see how long it takes people to realise that that's the tune to Tisdale's at the Wheel. Just
Because they sing it.
Just
knowing-
see them lose their minds, going, "Oh, well, I know this, but I
It's
don't
not
know why."
Waterfall though.
It is Waterfall. It's not made of stone. It's Waterfall.
I
Trust
thought it
me.
was made of stone.
No, made of stone. There's one where United fans singing Romelu Lukaku. He's a Belgian scoring genius with a 24-inch penis. Yeah, no, it's not that
See,
one.
now if I'm not allowed to do mana mana, he's not allowed to do that.
No,
again.
you're not doing that again. I'm
No,
telling you.
definitely not.
I like one. It's Waterfall.
It's Waterfall.
I think we should play that over town.
Anyway, I think that's us.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no,
yeah, I think that's us done.
Right, what have we done there, John? I mean,
Yeah, look.
within 50s.
Yeah,
An
I
hour and 4 minutes.
think I've just lost my job.
Now.
I
Yeah,
know.
I think you have, mate. So Sam won't be back here next
That's a
week.
shame. Yeah.
If
Oh
you'd
well.
like to come down, please
See you
feel
at
free.
Forest Green.
Yeah, give me a spare seat now.
Right, see you then.
Bye
Bye.
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 Is it your mate?
Who?
Carol.
Carl.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
know,
yeah.
me, Carl, Cags, Chucks, Louis, we're all getting together.
What, for Christmas?
After this tonight, actually.
Christmas dinner.
Yeah, you can come if you want.
Who's cooking?
Cags is an amazing cook.
Is he?
Yeah, absolutely
Right,
brilliant.
every Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's his house this week, but we just take turns.
Take tons of
Bellend.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.